From the night of shadow below the star to the cloud flow into the tower, what brings you to meet your perfect lens? Is this the full range cover from 16mm to 600mm? Is this the gray aperture all the way to f1.2 to have you the perfect dreaming blurry effect on your masterpiece? Is this the compact size and lightweight that you can carry over the tree and buildings to record your personal journey? Today, I will discuss with you by far the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens is my favorite piece of glasses that I can rely on to capture the life and stories. What brings me to the Sigma 16mm f1.4 is not only the amazing aperture capabilities, but also the focal length of 16mm. When placed on an APS-C camera, it presents you the equivalent lens of 24mm, which is great for shooting landscaping, astronomy, real estate, and vlogging. Before this lens came out, there was no other option for having such a wide-angle field of view while featuring a large aperture available in the market for Sony crop sensor cameras. The closest one was Sony's 60mm f2.8 pancake lens. It is cheap and easy to carry on, but the lack of picture quality make it not a great choice for photographers. As a comparison, the picture quality straight from Sigma 16mm f1.4 is sharp and smooth. Everything you shot through this lens will never disappoint you. Even when fully turning on the aperture all the way to f1.4, you will still get an extraordinary result without compromising the picture quality. The Sigma 16mm f1.4 weighs around 400 grams with the size of 2.8 inches for the diameter and 3.6 inches for the lens. It's definitely not too easy to carry on in terms of the size and the weight for APS-C camera. However, due to the Sony camera itself being not too heavy, it is still a perfect combination when pairing the gimbal for most situations. The lens building material is all metal and the texture is fantastic. That's why this lens weighs too much. I personally suggest if Sigma is able to make a plastic version to weigh a little bit less, and it will be greater for us to carry elsewhere. The filter size it uses is 67mm, which is usual and you can easily find the fitable filter in any online store. The focus speed is fast and accurate. You barely lost focus of the subject in most situations, and the lens focus motor is quiet. The motor almost not making any noise, and you will never record any noise straight from the lens when autofocusing. Due to the lens using 16 elements in 13 groups of glasses, the picture quality is outstanding and is far enough for 4K video filming. Being a family in Imam system, the most advantage things is you can use the lens in both full frame and APS-C camera. The lens is designed for APS-C size sensor. When pairing an APS-C camera, the 60mm will become 24mm in full frame equivalent. It is still a wide angle range, and the aperture at max in f1.4 will give APS-C camera a compensation of the ISO, as the APS-C sensor performs more noise level than full-frame sensor in general. However, due to the Sony's APS-C camera's lack of modern technical specification like 4K 60 FPS and 10-bit 422 color depth, we cannot develop the full potential performance for the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. So instead of pairing the lens with APS-C camera from Sony, I will use it with my Sony full-frame body for most of the time. When I first got my A7S III, I originally attached the Sigma 16mm on this cycle. The result was better than I expected. Vignetting is definitely exists and affects the image presenting due to its specific design for APS-C crop factor sensor. However, if you enhance the digital stabilization from A7S III, the vignetting will be reduced dramatically and the footage is usable in my opinion without applying crop effect in the post-production. Or otherwise you can apply 1.2 to 1.3 times clear image crop function in A7S III to avoid the vignetting issue and still get a 4K resolution for your footage. I like Imam APS-C lenses. They are usually compact, less weight cover, and produce phenomenal image quality. I dislike Sony APS-C camera. They are outdated, and their embodied image stabilization is the worst of its kind. The A7X III is almost an ideal camera for Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens, but the disadvantage of this combo is clearly to be seen. Due to the low pixel capacity from A7X III, even if you can turn on the enhanced stabilizer mode or turn on 1.2 times clear image zoom to avoid the vignetting issue, you will also lose the resolution quality for your footage and the vignetting will not disappear completely. By the time of the A7 Mark IV release, I think A7 Mark IV will be the best partner for Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. With the 33 megapixel, when turning on the crop mode from A7 Mark IV, the resolution is still above 4K and the image clarity is much better than A7S III. One thing I enjoy the most for this setup is, by combining the greatest advantage of the high ISO and low noise performance from full-frame sensor, and the brightest aperture of f1.4 from the 24mm, it gives me a great flexibility to film under most environments, without enough lighting condition and still perform clear image and sharp footage quality. Even though I mainly use this lens for video filming, the lens itself is capable of taking a nice steady picture. Generally, you can turn on relatively higher ISO when taking video than photo. Like A7 Mark IV, when I set the ISO to 10,000, the video is still sharp and stays at a comfortable noise level performance. The semi-ISO setup applying on the photo mode, the picture will look awful. I mean the photo is still usable, but you definitely have to make a lot of effort to denoise the photo to make it a decent quality. The f1.4 aperture from this lens allows you to lower your ISO setting and give you a better capability to make your shot. Not only allows you to take pictures in a low light environment, but also allows you to increase the shutter speed to capture faster moving subject, which it extends your lighting limitation and you can pay more attention to the photo creation itself instead of worrying if your gear is capable of making a good picture.